Hello everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel and here in my craft room. I thought today would be the perfect day. It's cold, it's cloudy, it's dreary. They're calling for rain, a really cold rain here. Snow to the north and west of us. We're not sure whether we're going to get anything or not, but it's going to be cold, and I thought this would be the perfect day for us to make some ornaments. We have not made ornaments. I played around a little bit, and I'm going to show you what I did. I did two, one like this and the back side like this. I thought these were really pretty. You could glue this together. What I did is I used a very heavy piece of cardstock and glued sorry, I have a bit of a frog in my throat. Then I glued the designer paper or the pattern paper onto the white piece to give it more stability. What I had planned for this, and we're probably going to do both, I'm going to show you how you can make this as a gift card holder and also as a treat box holder. I've been working, and I think I got all the kinks worked out of it, how to make a little box that can fit right in the middle of this, and you can put some little treats in it or a gift, and we can glue it to the box. We can tie something very decorative through here, and we can have a beautiful little thing to put on the tree that serves as an ornament and a gift holder. And like I said, I also thought it would be perfect to put a sleeve on the back of it, maybe with the person's name, and a gift card holder. A lot of people love to do gift cards during the holidays, and I thought this would make a beautiful presentation for one. So let's get started. The die set that I'm using is one that I bought off of Amazon, and it's just a series of nested ornaments. We have everything from, let's see if I can get this one off. This little tiny one is about an inch big. It's about a 1 by 1, and then it goes all the way up to the big one, which is much bigger. It is a 5 by 5, actually about a 5 by 5.5 if you count your top piece. Now what I did with mine, if you notice, I had gold here. I took my die and laid it on a piece of gold foil like this, and cut just that portion there, and then I took that piece and put it on the top of this piece when I cut it. So we're going to do some die cutting, and I think I am going to use the Gina K die cut machine. And what I want to do is just see if I can get one here and one here. I don't know, yeah, I'm going to do it like that. So I'm going to cut these two sheets. This is a cream. It's not a white, it's a cream colored heavyweight cardstock. This is 110 pound weight. And I wanted something that was going to be sturdy. So I'm going to cut this in half at 5.5. I want it to be doable to go through my die cut machine. So 5.5 will definitely, yeah, we can definitely get 2 out of this and then still have a little piece left over. So I'm going to cut it at 5.5, and that will get us 2. I'm going to go ahead and cut this piece too, just in case we need it. If I don't, I've got 2 card bases, so no loss there. All right, let's bring up the die cut machine. And plates. And what did I do with my plates? Y'all do know that I would lose my head if it was not attached. I'm going to put this one in first, and I'm going to lay in a piece of my cardstock. You could make these smaller if you wanted to, because we do have the ability to go much smaller, but I like the large ornament. I think they're just pretty. Now I am going to take out a little bit of my tape. I think I'm going to use this yellow tape. I'm going to stick this on my shirt just to get a little bit of the tackiness off of it. This tape is really super good, and I love this tape for holding down my dies. And you can use this over and over and over. I think that's going to work right there. So you can see what I'm doing from there. I'm going to bring that up to the top, as far up as I can get it. And I'm going to tape this down right here. And take this piece and tape it right there. And I'm going to lay that in on that cut plate. And I've got my cut side of my die facing down. And I'm going to lay my platform on top. And I'm going to turn my dial to die cut, and I'm going to put it on 0. This is a simple die. We shouldn't have any trouble cutting this one at all. So, drink over there. I have to keep a drink close by because I am still suffering with my sinus issues, and I am being sent to Chapel Hill to a doctor there next Tuesday. So please keep me in your prayers that the doctor will be able to find out if there's anything they can do to treat this, and find out what the culprit is in my horrible sinus issues. I suffer so bad. I'll tell you what it's like. It's like having a bad cold 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days out of the year. Now, they get worse during the fall and the spring, but they're bad all year round. And then during the winter, if I get a cold, I really suffer. So there's that piece cut, and this is very sturdy. You can see how sturdy that is. So we're going to cut one more of those, and we still have this much of our piece left. So I'll trim that down and use that for something else. So let's go ahead and get another piece on. So I'm going to turn this over, and I'm going to lay this down right here. Are y'all hearing the soft music in the background? I've got a beautiful scenery of a living room with a Christmas tree, fire going in the fireplace, and it is absolutely stunning. Huge window, the whole wall is a window, and you can see outside. The snow's falling, there's trees, a beautiful cabin across the road. That would be my happy place right there. A cup of hot tea and sitting in front of that fire listening to Christmas music. So beautiful and so peaceful. And though you can find those on YouTube, just type in Christmas music and these scenes will come up. You can put them on your TV and they are absolutely lovely. All right, there's my second piece. And like I said, this cuts so well. Look at that. Beautiful. These dies cut beautifully anyway. And I think I got these on Amazon. I will list, I will find them. And I'm pretty sure I got them on Amazon. And I will list them so that if you're interested in picking them up. I know it's a little late in the year to buy Christmas supplies, but you'll have them for next year. Let's see, what else do I need to die cut before we go any further. I want to do a small piece of a gold circle, and I think for this one, I think I'm going to do my deckled circles. Some of you might have these. These were the deckled circle dies from Stampin' Up, and they're so cute, and they give you kind of a deco look because they're not completely even, but it's so pretty. So I'm going to do one of those in this color, beautiful gold. Another good thing about this die cut machine, look at my gold. I didn't mess any of this up because I put this big platform that's very smooth over top of my die cut piece, so it wasn't cutting into a cut plate, which made this absolutely beautiful. And I can still use this piece with no wrinkles or anything in it, and I love that too. Let me get my die cut, of course. I always drop stuff under my desk. Do y'all do that? I think we all do. So now I'll have a gold piece to go on here if I want to. And I'm going to cut one more piece out of maybe this gold piece. Isn't this beautiful? I'm going to cut that same circle from this piece, and I'm going to just go up like that. And let's grab the cutting mat. And you can cut on both sides of this cutting mat. But you want to use it back and forth on both sides to make sure that you're taking advantage of all the space on your cutting plate. So let's lay this on top. And then we can just run this through. Just like that. And that cut beautifully as well. That gorgeous. Alright, so we have those two pieces cut. Now I need to cut the large piece that we were originally cutting. And I want to cut it out of the red and the green. So I'm going to cut one from this beautiful green. Lay that over. You're probably thinking that's a lot of cutting. It is, but it makes your ornament so pretty when you take the time to put the different pieces in. And you know, beauty's in the details. I always say the more details you put on a project, the prettier that it is. And we have this one cut beautifully. Isn't that gorgeous? I love that green. And I'm not even a green person. I love reds and blues and colors like that. I'm going to turn my mat over. So every time I use it, I try to remember to flip it. And then we're going to lay this right here. And bring this back. We're going to go ahead and run this through. And then we have that one. So now we have two of our ornaments cut in our heavy duty cardstock. We have two cut in our designer paper. And I think we might be done with the die cutting for right now. Let's move that out of our way. And let's get all of our pretty pieces back over. Here is so pretty. Now I can't decide which one I want where. This is gorgeous. Oh, I like that. Isn't that beautiful? With that foil on it, it really sparkles. I may want to cut a piece of vellum to go over these as well. Let me grab some vellum and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back and I got a piece of vellum. I'm going to cut this into, let's see, my deckled circles. I only need one about, I think the next size down. Yeah, that'd be pretty. So we only need to cut this to 3 1/4. So I'm going to cut 3 1/4 off of here. And this will give us enough to cut a couple of these. And after I cut them, we are going to emboss them. I think embossing something like this really adds so much to it. So let's bring this back up. Bring it forward a little bit. And I'm going to put my cut plate down. I'm going to take my piece of vellum and lay there. And this right there. And I think I might cut that so that I don't push the whole piece through. So I'm just going to grab scissors. You know, sometimes you just need a pair of scissors for something like this. So I'm going to just cut that straight across. Lay this back down so it's nice and centered. And we have a nice piece of vellum cut with that deco edge. So cute. So we'll lay that down there. And then we'll take the other piece of vellum and let's go ahead and cut this. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to emboss my vellum. So I'm going to take both pieces of vellum. I'm going to put my platform plate down, and I grabbed the Time Worn type. This is an older, I think it's retired now, but since I don't do Stampin' Up anymore, I'm not sure. I'm just going to lay them in there, you know, just lay them in because I don't really care what it gets on it. I just want it to have some texture. So now I'm going to lay that down there. This is a 3D embossing folder, so I'm going to turn my knob over to 3D, and I'm going to lay my top plate on. I'm leaving the tension at 0, and see, I can almost tell it needs to tighten. So I'm going to tighten it to about 2 and run it through. Maybe I need to take it back to 0. Once I got to the folder, yeah, once I got to the folder it was tighter. So 0 was perfect. So now we're done with this for the time being. And we'll bring that over. Oh, look at those. Aren't they gorgeous? I love to emboss on vellum because it gives such a different look to it. The details just pop when you do it like that. That is stunning. I love that. Alright, so now what we need to do is go ahead and glue our pieces together. So what I want to do is I want to glue one of these on here, and I would suggest using liquid glue for this. You don't need a lot, just a little bit. Make sure you get a little glue around the top. If you want to, just take your finger and, you know, just rub it a little bit. And then what I like to do is start up here at the top and get that top lined up really nice and even, and then hold it and then press everything else down. This kind of assures that you're going to get a nice coverage and it looks perfect. or as close to perfect as we do. So we'll do the same thing. I just find that this trick works better for me. A little glue around my top, and then just a little glue, not a lot, all over. And then again, I'm going to come up here to my top and try lining that up as best I can. Grab it. I like to hold it up there, so make sure everything is lining. And then give it a press. Gorgeous. I love it. I love it. All right, now we're going to take our gold piece. I'm trying to decide now which one do I want where. You know, I don't know. Are y'all ever indecisive like that when you're making something? We are going to need our embossing machine again, our die cut. I got to cut the top of that. I hope y'all are hearing that music in the background. So soothing. Love it. Here's my gold, and I do need to cut 2 of these just like that. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my yellow tape and tape it down. And then I think I'm just going to cut it with my scissors, just like that. And then all we got to do is run that through. And we'll do the next one. I do want to cut Merry Christmas, so why don't we do that while we're cutting. There's our other little piece. We're going to have to trim it as well. It went a little sideways, but we can cut that off. Not a biggie at all. I'll set my tape over here so I can have it for later. And Merry Christmas. Let's see. I love this one because it's one piece. I think I'm going to need some more gold. Oh, beautiful. Look, all that picked right out of there. Now all we gotta do is pick that out and we are good to go. So, do I want to cut one more? Sure. Why not? We're gonna have to get this one out so we can cut the next one. So I'm just gonna bring my brush over here. And I'm gonna do that. Best way to get them out is just to drop it like that and let it pop loose. I love it. Now I'm going to lay this one right here. And put this back on top. And crank it through. Peel that off. Get these peeled away like that. And Let's see. There we go. I love doing that. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the kid in me. You know, there's a little bit of a child in all of us. So, we were in Costco earlier in the week, and we were looking at toys. And I told my husband, I said, there's something about looking at toys that makes me, especially at Christmas, it makes me want to be a kid again. I always want a toy to play with. Are any of you like that? Just love the idea of having something to play with on Christmas. When my kids were little, we always got some type of new game, and we would sit around Christmas evening after dinner, and we would play board games and different types of card games like Uno and Skip Bow and Phase 10, and it was always so much fun. Those memories are always alive and well, and I enjoyed it so much. And even now when we go to Virginia, we usually end up playing some type of game with Jennifer and her husband and the kids, and it's so much fun. I'm cutting that off like that. And like that. That doesn't look quite even, but you know what? We'll even it up. Are you like me and you can't cut straight for nothing? That's why we have trimmers. And if you get it in here and you can't get it straight, or you get it straight and it wiggles, this little tape right here. Oops, wrong one. I did it with my scoring blade instead of my cut blade. Okay, let's pull that up. Now that's nice and straight. Beautiful. Let's see if we need to straighten this one up some too. It wouldn't hurt, would it? So, who's all decorated for Christmas, and who's finished up your Christmas shopping? We've done a little Christmas shopping. We haven't gotten the stuff out of the attic yet to decorate. We've been talking about it, and I'll definitely share pictures with everyone once I get things out and down and decorated. See, this is going to go right here, just like that. Isn't that beautiful? And this one's going to go on here. And this, we're going to have to kind of be strategic in where we glue this down at. I'm going to try to glue right in the middle where I know the Merry Christmas is going to go. So let's go ahead and do that now. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue right through the middle. Not bad. And the same way with this. I put it right there through the middle. And then I'm going to bring this over. Oops. Oh, I didn't want to get glue on that. Okay, we're going to pop these up on some dimensionals. put this right in the middle, like that, and we're going to do the same thing with this one. And this one is going to go right here. And then we're going to do Merry Christmas right across there. See what I mean? That's going to cover up where that glue was or is. And you're not going to really notice it. Aren't those gorgeous? And we're not done. We're going to use some gold threading to put bows on them. And then we can put them together and maybe put the box in between, or I want to show you better than that. Maybe we'll do these, the ones that I already have made. I made them identical. I just cut different papers and different things, and maybe what we'll do is we'll put the box in this one, and I'll show you how to make these into gift cards. So let's go ahead and put, I'm going to hold these with my reverse tweezers so I can put glue on the back. Oops, I got a piece right there that was supposed to come out that didn't. There we go. Y'all probably saw that and said, oh, you got a piece left in there. I do that when I'm watching videos. I'll say, oh no, you got a piece left in there. Don't forget to get it. Oh, so pretty. So pretty. Look at these. I mean, we have 4 beautiful pieces that are just extraordinary. Aren't they beautiful? So I'm going to take this one and this one because these were my 2 original. I'm going to lay them over here. Oops, it looks like we need a little bit more glue right here. There we go. We're going to make a little pocket to go on the back here. So we're going to need a piece that is, what do I want to do the pocket out of? Let's, let me see what size pocket. I hadn't measured this to figure out the pocket. So we want a pocket that is, I want it to be the size of a credit card or a gift card, which is one and the same. I have my Belk Reward. I got my Venmo card. That'll work. So we want the credit, the piece to be 3 3/8. So we're going to go 3.5 by 2.5. So 3.5 by 2.5. I gotta do the math. Oh, look at that. That's gorgeous. Okay, so we need 4.5 by 3, so that's going to be easy. We're going to cut this at 3, 4.5, and then we're going to score it at 1/2 inch and at 1/2 inch. and at a 1/2 inch. Now we do need to miter. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and fold this so I can see my lines a little better. And I'm going to go ahead and use my bone folder and get these a nice edge on them. Like so, and then I'm going to cut. I'm going to miter these corners, so I'm going to go as close as I can to that corner, and then I'm going to cut up. And the same thing over here. I'm going to go to the corner and then cut up. And then we should have a pocket that our gift card will slide right into. Now I do like to notch my gift card holders. I like to come about halfway, not eyeball it. And that just gives us a nice little place for them to see where to pull the gift card from. So, and here you could do a little sticker or die cut a piece and maybe use your computer to print out a name. So this would be so cute like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put glue on my tabs. And since this video has taken so long, I've got everything ready to do the box. We'll come back on a different video and do our little box. But this is perfect for a gift card holder. And now our little gift card can slide right in there and hang on the tree. Now let's go ahead and put a bow on it. So I'm going to make my little twisty bow. Something like that. And then we can cut this off like so. And we can fan out our little bow. Looks like little angel wings. I love these bows. This is done with the Bow Dabber wire. This makes such cute bows and little streamers and things like that on your packages and your cards and ornaments. And that can go right there. And we'll put that on with a mini glue dot. So I have some glue dots right here. I love these because they come off on the paper, unlike the ones I've used before. You can pull it off and it stays right there. And all you have to do is get rid of your little piece of cellophane, and if you're like me and you got static, that could be a chore, but I did. And then you can stick that right into your bow, and that one is done. Now all we have to do is take this piece, and we can do the same thing because you can get two of these out of one. So I am going to cut this. Oh, what did I just drop? My blade. So this needs to be 4 1/2. And we're going to score it at 1/2 and 1/2. half. And then we'll just do the same thing with it. We're gonna bend it. And fold it. And fold it. And we'll miter our corners just like we did before. And those will fold over just like that. We'll put glue on them. Oh, we didn't notch this one. Let's notch it real quick before I glue it down. There we go. And then we can set this right back here. Just like that. And we have two really cute gift card holders. Just like that. We're going to do a bow on this one as well. And I'm going to show y'all how I do my bow. I lay my ribbon across my hand and hold it with my thumb. Then I wrap it over and under my index, over and under my middle finger, over and under, over and under, over and under, over and under, over and then up. And then give yourself a long tail, clip it, and then you want to bring it back around and feed it into that little V on the other side of that ribbon that you're holding. Feed it all the way through, grab it. This one wasn't supposed to wrap. Okay, then you're going to feed it back through that loop that was loose, just like that. And you're going to tighten it down, rock it back and forth, and then slide it off of your fingers. I think this one went a little bit crooked, but we'll see. Yeah, this one went a little bit crooked. Let's try it again. It's so funny. I can do it when I'm not thinking about it, and then when I try to show, it always comes out wrong. Okay, cross your fingers, over and under, over and under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over, and then through the middle, back up and through the loop that you just made, just like that. And that's going to make a knot, and then you want to pull that knot to the middle and rock it back and forth, back and forth. Then take it off, turn it so that the pretty side is facing up, and then separate your loops. And you can make it as full or as thin as you like, depending on how many times you go around up and over your fingers. It takes a little practice, but I promise you, once you get this, you're going to be so thrilled to have an easy way to make a cute loopy bow anytime you need one. So I'm going to cut these off like that and grab another one of those little glue dots. I'm going to put that glue dot right there, press it, and then peel off the cellophane. My dot is there, waiting on my bow. And so we'll set the bow down right into that glue, and there is our bow on that one. So what I'll do is I'll come back and we will do a video, because I actually have a diagram and everything already made out for you, how to make this little box that will go in between here. So we'll do that on the next video. I think this one was long enough, and I don't like to hold y'all for a very long period of time, but what a cute way to make a little gift card to hang on the tree. And we can take a gold piece of this and make a little loop. We might could do it with this. Make a little loop and tie it. Give yourself enough so you can make the little double knot so it will hold. And pull it through. Tighten it down. And then you can trim these off. What did I do with my little scissors? Here they are. And pull that down so it kind of hides. And then you've got a beautiful hanging ornament to put on your tree for someone special. I thought these turned out so stinking cute. I hope you did. And tune back in when I make the box to put between these two. It'll give you another option to use with this particular ornament. I'll link everything that I use, that I have links for, below this video. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll also put this up over on my blog so that if you need instructions. It was very simple because we just used the dies to cut everything, so it really wasn't a lot of measurements or anything other than the gift card holder. Love those. Hope you did. God bless and keep you. And as I always say in closing, let everything that you do and say bring honor and glory to our Savior Jesus. He is worthy, and He is the reason for the season. God bless and keep you. Bye-bye.